In this edition of Insight, the home of the Govs gets a major upgrade. We go inside the new FieldHouse at Troutner Stadium. There's something cooking at Riggs High School, literally. A new course, a new instructor, and one of the city's finest commercial kitchens. And a petting zoo like you've never seen before. That's tonight on Insight. Hey, thanks for watching. It's one of the most visible projects in the city of Pierre. Of course, it's the FieldHouse at the new Riggs High School Phil Troutner Stadium. We got an exclusive tour to go inside this beautiful new facility. Well, first of all, it's a beautiful field house. It's brand new. It's never looked so good. Tell us, Dr. Gloat, a little bit about the work that went into getting this up and running.
Well, the work of me personally was very minimal, but Darla Mayer, our business manager, and you'll visit a little bit later with Dan Frost, the director of buildings and grounds, and athletic director Moser. They did the brunt of the work and oversaw the process, but as has been noted from the beginning, this project was something that was kind of a dream of ours, but it was not going to be a reality unless we had some type of assistance from outside the regular school district dollars. So we are very, very fortunate to have a generous donor that made this possible. So, and we've already announced that that announcement or unveiling of that donor will happen at our first football game in the fall. So we'll do that then.
You got a flair for the dramatic. I like it. That's going to be a big night. I bet the stands are packed as people come down for the unveiling.
Yep, I have no doubt. And this will be a facility. It was so badly needed for many, many years, but it wasn't going to happen with our budget. And so we're very fortunate.
We're going to talk about the exact specifications of this building and give our viewers a chance to look inside and go inside the building. But before we get into that, Darla, let's bring you into the conversation here. You know, it's all about the money. Things don't get done without the money. You got to arrive on budget, all that. This has been a long-term goal, and there's been a lot of financial planning to pull this off beyond just having a donor. Tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. For many years, we have dreamed of having a field house here at Hollister Field, but as you know, in the world of education, finances are always tight, and so really it's kind of been bumped out of our capital outlay plan a number of times as other priorities, took the place of it, really. So we're so fortunate to have had a donor step forward and make this dream a reality and possible for the Pierce School District, and I know that it'll be used for many years to come. So the total cost of the facility was just short of $1.6 million, and the funds that came in from the donor really made that possible. And so we also had additional money from some federal funding that we received within our district that helped to go along with that, and our sports marketing program also reached in, and we kind of put off a few other things, or we've been so fortunate with other sponsors in our community that have helped with our sports marketing program and providing dollars through our advertising. So all those methods helped us to finance the building.
You know, one of the things that we'll talk about in the field house is that this is an ADA compliant building, and that's really something important to the school district for a lot of reasons, but it's the right thing to do as well. So this is really an important donation when you look at it from allowing access to everyone of all ages.
Yes, absolutely. That's something that we were able to make sure was possible within this building, something the last building did not offer at all. So really, we want all of our fans and all of our parents and all of our athletes to have access to all of our buildings. So this made it possible with the construction of this new building.
Dr. Gloat, the school board had a chance to come down here, visit the construction the other day. What were their reactions?
Obviously, they've been involved from the beginning, but very excited. They've known that we've needed this for a long time, and I think they were as excited as anyone else. And like I said, I came to the track meet last Tuesday. I'll bet you 5 adults hit me up before I even got into the venue to say how impressed they were with the new facility, and not just the field house, but all the other improvements that have been made down here in the last few years. So
it really is the icing on the cake. It brings the whole field together. It's a dominant feature here, but when you put it with all the other amenities, it really is a signature piece.
Yep, for sure. We're very, very fortunate.
Well, let's go inside and let's talk with a couple of the experts here on what the FieldHouse is.
Perfect.
Okay, we're going to start with Mr. Moser, our athletic director at the Pierce School District. Tell me a little bit about what this FieldHouse means to you as an AD.
Well, first of all, it's just going to be an excellent opportunity for our kids to have a really, really nice place to get dressed and be ready to perform for our fans. And it's just going to be very easy access for our coaches and our players to come in at halftimes of football games or those types of things. And then obviously for our fans, it's just great for them to have a really, really nice place, utilize the restrooms and concession stand and all those things that, you know, a lot of people take for granted on a daily basis, you know, and when you don't know any different, you realize when you get something this nice, how special it really is, not only for our sports program, but for the entire community.
Now, you more than anyone else have heard from visiting teams, those that traveled up here to attend games, about the condition of the old FieldHouse. You know, it wasn't a great experience for the visiting team. They would have to walk, you know, a half mile sometimes to go in and change and take their breaks and all that. This really changes the game in a literal way.
It does. A lot of people don't realize, but our halftimes of our football games were 20 minutes plus 3 minutes is how it was. And we were, I believe, one of the only teams in the state that have a 20-minute halftime just for that opportunity for our teams to go up into the locker rooms and to do the things that they need to do for their coaching staff and some changes that they need to make in their play. So, you know, our halftimes will go back down to 15 and we'll be playing a normal football game. And it's not a big difference, but it's amazing what that 5 minutes does.
Yeah, instead of changing at the middle school wrestling room and elsewhere, they're able to stay here on the field. It's a lot tighter, a lot more secure. It just all comes into play.
Yep, and the other thing too that we have is, as you can see behind, we have the clocks that are matched to our Daktronic boards out there. So the officials that would be in this room here before, when they were changing in the wrestling room and then halftime in the shed, they'll be able to come right in here and have access to that, not have to go all back out into the elements if not needed until the last minute. And it's just really going to be nice for them too.
So let's talk a little bit about this room. This is the efficient room. This is where the refs are going to be. They can get ready for the game here. They can take their halftime breaks here. But what's so special about this?
Well, just so they have a place. The one thing, you know, when officials come to town, they're calling me and where do we dress? And you know, it was on every game or different situation. I was changing it up on them. So, you know, just so the refs across the state will know when they come to Pierre that they're going to have a home that's welcome to them and clean and a place for them to get changed and safe for their valuables and not have to worry about locking things up and just coming to do their job of officiating the game. That in itself. And then obviously after, they're going to have great shower facilities. Before, they'd have to go back to their car, get their clothes. I'd take them up the back way, up into the shower facility so they could shower up into school. And it just was a lot of extra time and you know, distraction away from what they were really here to do.
Let's take a look at the visiting team. We're going to bring Dan Frost into the conversation, our Director of Maintenance and Operations here for the school district. And Dan, this is a crowning achievement to a long career. You've been waiting a long time to see this building come together.
Yes, I have. We've talked about this building for a number of years, and now that it's finally a reality, it's really nice added addition into the Hollister Field. This is a 6,324 square foot building. As you can see, it's all block and brick. We have restrooms, and this is actually the visitors' locker room. There's restrooms on one side behind us there, and shower rooms for them too. All these restrooms in this whole facility are ADA compliant, and so we're excited about people being able to use this facility.
And one of the things that's come up is that this is both heated and certain parts of it are cooled as well. Tell me a little bit about that.
That's correct. Yeah, the locker rooms. This is the visitor locker room and the trainer's room, the home locker room. They are all heated and they're air conditioned too. So we can control this with. We have a Metasys system that we can control this with and monitor it. I would like to say too that we've been told that it's best to actually heat this building year round. So We're gonna try that at like 40 or 45 degrees, and we can monitor that also on a daily basis or an hourly basis, so we can kind of keep track of how everything is working in the building.
It's a gorgeous building. I don't think television does it justice, but it really is an accomplishment to see this. It's not any too extravagant, but it's very competitive with other field houses out there. This should really put Pierre on the map.
Yeah, I think it will too. Yeah, like I say, we're really excited about this. This is just a huge addition to this facility down here, and I know the players, the coaches, the referees, and even all the fans and community members or whatever are gonna really like this facility.
Mr. Moser, I know viewers right now are asking the question, what are the hooks on the wall here? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, what those are is, as obviously the visiting locker room, we just felt that we didn't need true lockers in this facility because most teams, when they come in, have travel bags. And what that does is allows them just to hang their bag up there and get out the items that they need out of their bag and put their clothes that they would be wearing for the trip back in there. So, you know, it's a inexpensive but really good way of supplying a visitor's locker room, and we're hoping that, you know, first of all, we have enough. That's one thing you just never know about, but you know that it's functional and it's designed well for this room and still gives them a lot of room in the center so they can still do some of the things that they need to do as a team.
Well, the visitor locker room is this nice. I can't wait to see the home of the Govs.
Yep, let's go.
Okay, Mr. Moser, tell me a little bit about this room. It's one of the areas donated by someone that we can talk about.
Yep, Avera Medical Group was very giving to us. You know, they were in the discussion throughout this entire process. I had several meetings with them in just regards to this training facility. And first of all, we're fortunate that we have Casey Michelson, who's what I would think is our best athletic trainer in the state. She just does a wonderful job. And when you create a facility like this, the last thing you think about as you're building it is, how are you going to fund the things that really need to go inside of the building? And when you start putting a price tag on some of those things, it adds up pretty quick. And Avera Medical Group stepped up and really did their part above and beyond anything that I could even imagine of supplying us with a nice machine. And then right behind me, this will be a brand new treatment table. And then over here would be a two-seated taping station, so we can have two people at one time being taped. So those are just items that would not be a reality right away. They're actually being shipped to us, I believe, as we speak, so they'll be here shortly. And it's just those things that, you know, I didn't think about. You know, you just get excited about a facility and you're getting a facility, then you start thinking about how are we going to pay for the things that go inside of it. And
well, as you said, this is not a cheap room. I know that because it is a medical treatment, they have to have special countertops, and that's not the kind you go out and you buy at a big box store. I also see an AED in the back of the room, which, you know, if you're going to have a sporting facility or anything like that, you should have a couple of those around. So there's some money in this room that it was a big donation.
Yep, and the thing about it is it's that type of thing that, again, you just don't think about on a daily basis. And you know, and that's one thing that's really nice about having someone like Casey is she has all of the equipment that is needed on every trip, and she ensures that, along with Avera, they help us out, but we're ensured that our coaches have proper bags when they go out on the field or go on a trip. Our track team went to Rapid City, and all those supplies, you know, come right from there. So it all kind of goes together. Her room at the high school and this room are now going to be jointly used, and it's just going to be another great addition to our sports program. Someone gets hurt down here, our coaches don't have to haul them up. She can come down and see them if she happens to not be here. And those are just things that, again, you take for granted when you don't have the facility to begin with.
Well, like I said, I can't wait to see the home team locker room.
Let's go.
So here it is, the home team locker room, and it is very definitely the home team's locker room. This is an impressive facility here.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to be able to have a room like this, and for our home team, and again for all of our kids and our fans. And this is where the start of the game starts, right here.
This is where the Govs get ready for the game. This is where they talk about the game. This is where the halftime all occurs. And we've got some strategic thinking going into this. One of the things to come is a big screen TV in here. Tell me how that helps with the game strategy.
Well, anymore, most teams utilize a program that's called Huddle. And what that does is if you come to a Governor football game, you'll see that we have cameras strategically placed around the field, one in the end zone. We have an end zone camera. And then we'll also have some footage being videotaped up top. And then also in the Crow's Nest, we have two gentlemen that run our Huddles program, and they are able to put in the stats right at the same time as the game's going on. Well, what they can do is they can correlate that back here. They can pull up their laptops. They can hook that to the smart TV. They can play back video from the game right there at halftime. They can look at stats of what plays were working in what situations and break down some of those stats instantly and take some of the notes and project it to where the kids will actually be able to see themselves doing and playing the game other than just a coach drawing it old school on a whiteboard.
Yeah, I remember those days. I don't know if it was old school, but you know, it was a little more, but okay. So one of the other things that we notice is that this has Wi-Fi and it's wired. It's ready for the future.
It is, and you know, as we've just grown here, in my 3 years just being in Pierre, how technology has become such a huge part of athletics, and even just to host an event, the technology that's needed to be able to run it, and this is a building that I think we're good to go for many years.
Now there are some amenities that we're still likely to see here. It's not a completely done deal, but we mentioned we've got some folding chairs out here right now. They work for now, but you've got bigger plans.
Yep, what our plans are is hopefully we're going to have some stools that'll fit right in each locker, so when the athletes are getting dressed, they'll be able to pull the stool out of the locker, utilize that, get dressed, and then when they have their team meetings at halftime or pregame, they'll be able to bring them out into the center of the floor and sit in front of the TV or the whiteboards that are going to be going up and be able to listen to the coach and relax and get off their feet a little bit.
All right, I'm going to take you in a little bit of a different direction here, but I can't help but think about fall football already. Can you give me a little insight? We're going to do well this fall?
I sure hope so. You know, we have a lot of talent coming back. I know our coach is very excited about it. I think you're going to see a totally different offense than what we've seen in the past. We have several individuals that can run the ball, throw the ball, and catch the ball. So I would think you're going to try to get the ball into their hands as much as possible. And just some good things. And it's rather interesting. We talk about the unveiling of the donor on the first football game. Well, that just so happens that it's Harrisburg, the team we played in the Dome last year. So maybe on the DAC board we'll have to play a little bit of some highlights of our championship that first game. So we'll see how that goes.
I like the way you think.
Yeah.
So we're in the concession stand now, and I think of all the things that the public is going to get excited about, this is one of two of them. Tell me a little bit about the concession stand and why this is such a remarkable place.
Okay, as you can see, the concession stand is much larger than what we had before. We have 4 big doors that people can come up to, and a nice cement pad out here to stand on. They don't have to stand in the mud or
and a rain awning.
And the rain awning, yes, that's a good thing too. Behind us, you can see the brick wall here behind us. There's going to be monitors set up, and that you can watch the game. The people in the concession stand can actually watch the game, and also the people that are standing in line can see what's happening on the field or on the track. Other than that, it's just so much more roomier. I think it's going to be a lot quicker for people to come up here and get their concessions items and be able to get back and watch the games.
Now, this is a really important thing for the people that are raising money, getting volunteers to work behind the counter. It's a more pleasant experience on both sides of the window, and that's got to help a lot of people.
That will help a lot of people. There's a lot of organizations that do make money for the school district and for their organizations, and yeah, this is going to be a lot better for them and the people that are getting their concessions. Make it quicker and faster and much more reliable.
Now, this is one of the rare rooms that is not air conditioned, but you know, with windows wide open and doors and people coming and going, it really didn't make a lot of sense. But on the other hand, it's bound to be cooler than the old concession stand just because of the airflow.
Yes, no doubt about it. It will be. There will be a lot of airflow. We do have heat in this room, and just in case it does, there is some inclement weather. But yeah, the air conditioning, we didn't air condition just for that simple reason, is because of the large windows and doors and things being opened all the time. But it'll be fine. I don't think the concessions workers are going to be on the move and running, and we'll have fans in here for them if they need them. So that'll work out for them.
Well, Mr. Moser mentioned the IT side of this, and I know Brian Lynn had a lot to do with that. But this is a fully wired, fully integrated. You'll be able to put big screens in this room as well, as you mentioned. But there's some other technology that went into this. The building is designed to drain, as I understand it.
That's correct, Patrick. As this building was designed, actually, the water pipes are saw slow from the north side of the building to the south side, which is this side. Everything is completely drainable. Each of the pieces of equipment, the stools, the urinals, the sinks and slop sinks and things like that have a drainable valve on them. So the maintenance crew will drain that in the fall. And then this building can be completely drained, but like I had mentioned before, we're going to actually put a little bit of heat in here just to be, it's recommended to help with the mortar, the brick, the ceramic tile and things like that. It's supposed to increase the life expectancy of the building and all the stuff inside of it. So yeah, we have it. It's going to be fully monitored, like I say, with our medicine system on our HVAC system. We can see what the temperature is in each one of these rooms and adjust it accordingly. So it's going to be a nice facility.
I really like the way it's integrated with the larger heating and cooling system in the Pierce School District. Theoretically, we could send a text to a guy in retirement and ask him to help out, right?
That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. This is my last year at the Pierce School District. I'm just really proud to be a part of this building, and I can't wait till I've seen it operate at the track meet this week, and it was really, really great. I just can't wait to see it operate with a football game too.
Really is a crowning achievement. Congratulations.
Thank you, Patrick.
Okay, so I said one of two rooms that are going to get people excited. This is going to be the other one. I think a lot of people are going to be excited to see this. It's a major improvement, but it's probably not one you're going to think of. First of all, heated, cooled, accessible restrooms. That's a big deal at the FieldHouse.
It is. That's correct. There's actually 10 stools here, and the same amount of sinks. Just about. It's about double what we had before at our old facility that we had for restrooms. So it's going to be so much better. The lines won't be as long as standing outside, and I know all the fans are going to appreciate this a lot.
So we're here in the ladies' room right now. 10 stalls, private, mothers with little kids kids of any age. They're going to appreciate this. This is one of the things we heard about probably most often.
Yes, it is. It is. We always heard about the lines that we were having at especially the football games and especially the women's restroom. So this is just a huge addition to that, and it's going to work out great. It is all ADA compliant, so anybody that has a disability can come in here and use it just like anybody else.
Having this heated and cooled, that's just one more convenience.
Yes, it is. It's going to be so nice to be able to come in here when it's cold, and in the same way when it's warm out, if you need it to be cooled down a little bit.
So if the restrooms are Mr. Frost's room, this must be Brian's room. Tell me a little bit about where we are.
This is a storage garage, kind of a specialty place for me, because this is a place where I actually get to store some of the things that I want to keep out of the shed from all the coaches and all those people that get to go in and out of those sheds.
Lock and key, isn't it? It's lock and key. Yes,
it is. And some of the things that we're going to house in here, it'll be seasonal. So right now, as you can see, we have some pylons and some different things, but we keep all the track stuff in here right now. So our FAT timing system will be in here. Our radios for all of our workers. We'll keep the drinks and stuff in there for the workers, and just all those things that you need for track, cones and that type of thing. And then as football rolls around, we'll just swap it over to all the things that we need for football game.
You had a very small shed before, but saying that it was inadequate is really putting it on another level. It really didn't do the job. This is going to be nice.
It's going to be great because you'll be able to separate it out. And that's one thing that we did not have the benefit of in the past with our old shed, is all sports and everything that you need for those sports were all in the same area. And it doesn't take long once you start moving stuff around that they're not lost, they're here somewhere. And that's what we'll be able to avoid here is when a season starts, we'll be able to, bring all the stuff in and then we just know we have it.
This really is the first storage space that an AD has had.
It is, and that's what you would consider for themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, we've always had storage sheds, but it's just like anything. When you have storage, you always find stuff to put in there.
You're telling me.
And that's one thing that I'm really hoping that we will avoid from this is keep this as open as we can and keep it to where it'll be just for the events that are going on at that time.
Well, again, congratulations. I can't wait for our opening game. This is going to be a great kickoff to a great season, and I think people are going to be excited to come out.
Me too. I'm really looking forward to it. And again, thanks for everybody that gave their time and energy and effort and the financial backing to support this. And without a good entire community, this would have never happened. So it's great for the community, great for kids, and hopefully great for some wins in the future for our Gov and Lady Gov football and track programs.
Go Govs.
There you go.